that he used the words Kalakku Puratta. I think this is a courtesy which must be extended to our media. And that is why I stopped. I have never before today, I have never invited press for any interaction. Yes, if they have asked to interview me, I have done that. And famously, the man who calls you any being, it is reported that he used the word Kalakku Puratta. He had said to you, not to me. How do you tolerate these things? Kalakku Puratta. Namaskaram. Thank you very much for responding to our invitation, but I would like that before we interact, if we see, and why I am raising this issue now, that I will explain later. But before that, I want you to see the video clips which have not been made by me or the Raj Bhavan, which have come the sources, the government, PRD, and different media agencies. They have come from there. So I think I should not block the view. I will go that side. Eh? It's okay. It's okay? Okay. Then please start. First, I would like you to view. Just a moment, and see. Before you see it, I would like to read you out. There is a section 124 of IPC which says, whoever with the intention of inducing or compelling the President of India or the governor of any state to exercise or refrain from exercising in any manner of the lawful powers of such president or governor assaults or wrongfully restrains or attempts wrongfully to restrain or overawes by means of criminal force or show of criminal force or attempts to overawe the president or governor shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years and shall also be liable to fine. I hope you will appreciate that this provision, if anything happens which comes under the reach of this provision, that need not be reported to the police. This is a cognizable offense. Action is not to be taken when it will be reported to the police. Whatever happened at Kannur happened in the presence of more than 100 police personnel. And I would like to express my appreciation of the police people who tried their best to control the situation there, who stopped these people from reaching me. But in the same video you will see a senior functionary, political functionary, who now works in the office of the Chief Minister. He is preventing the police from acting. In the video itself you will see that he is preventing the police from discharging their lawful duties. And I can only sympathize with those who say that why matter was not reported. No, matter is not to be reported. If some criminal act happens on the road, somebody is attacked, then it is not necessary for that person. This is a cognizable offense. This is not non-cognizable. This is cognizable offense, and Indian Penal Code has made this provision only with respect to Honorable President of India and the governors of these states. Now, in a state where people are arrested for wearing black shirt, this thing happens, which you will see on the screen, and then we will talk about it. No, first you show how they are trying to overawe me at the stage, and then you show this man who is working in the office of the Chief Minister, how he is trying to tell the police not to act.
Knowing the issue, if you feel that your neighbor is feeling agitated, you come in.
एक मिनट पॉज करिए. One thing I should also add before you see this. Every program of the governor, final approval of minute-to-minute program is given. And the organizers are bound that there, in fact, a line is written below. No departure from the approved program shall be allowed. The program was for 1 hour. Irfan Habib Sahab was allotted 2 or 3 minutes to speak. He spoke for more than 35 minutes. He did not speak on history. He spoke on CA. He spoke about the central government, all criticism. And every time he will make a critical remark, he will look at me. It means he wanted me to respond to those remarks. He spoke for more than 35 minutes. The total duration approved was 60 minutes. I was made to sit there for more than 95 minutes. Naturally, I felt that they want me to respond the points which they have raised. Therefore, I say in the beginning of my speech that although whatever they have spoken does not pertain to the subject of the conference, but since they have made this point, they expect some response from me. Therefore, I am going to respond to the points which have been raised. Now, please start.
You have very strong sense of empathy. Even without knowing the issue, if you feel that your neighbor is feeling agitated, you come and join. But partition has created, it has not impacted, it has inflected the thinking in northern India. I don't know if you have watched yesterday. A leading Pakistani cricketer, Danish Kinani, what is his name? I don't exactly remember.
The voice comes.
What? He's the man who has many a times been responsible for the win of the Pakistani team. And yesterday people all over the world came to know that because he's a Hindu, what kind of torture he has been subjected to. You know, I firmly believe, and I agree that partition happened in 1947. But you may say that Pakistan partition of the country is an old story. For Pakistan, Kashmir even today is the unfinished agenda of partition. For you it may be an old story. For Pakistan it is not old. Actually, the whole thing started. Those who are showing, please do not disturb them. They have,
Now they are showing black flag.
them. They want to show black flag. They can very happily show. I have no problem. After Shahbano, let me tell you, after Shahbano, they are merely showing black flag. I have been attacked physically 3 occasions. You have no right to violence or to create disturbance. You want to show black flag, you can show it. You have no right to create disturbance. You can please don't give too much importance to them. Please take your places. What's so important?
Now Irfan comes to stop.
You have no right to tell me that. Why did you raise the Kashmir issue? You are not the arbiter. You are not the arbiter. तकलीफ दे रहा है. You want to frighten me? The problem is with these people. They want to deny freedom of speech to others. They want to speak, but they don't want to receive response. We should digest everything which they tell us. Why did they not protest when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru started knocking the bottom of Article 370? Why did they not protest during the time of Indiraji? Now that it has become an empty house and is being used by Pakistan to do terrorism in India last 30 years. You have come with an agenda. You have a leading thought. You can't shout me down. You can't shout me down. You can't shout me down. आप ही लोगों के लिए मौलाना आजाद ने कहा था पहले कन्वेंशन में, कॉन्वोकेशन में, कि पार्टीशन गंदगी बहा ले गया, लेकिन कुछ गड्ढे बच गए जिसमें पानी बच गया. बदबू आ रही है उसमें से, बदबू आ रही है. यू आर कॉजिंग फाउल स्मेल. मौलाना आजाद ने आप ही के लिए कहा था. नहीं, आपकी जायदाद है मौलाना आजाद, हमारी है.
He is telling me why you are quoting Maulana Azad.
Let these people know they can't shout me down. If I have heard them quietly, they must hear me quietly. What? नहीं सुनेंगे आप, 1 मिनट में बाहर हो जाएंगे. नहीं सुनेंगे, नहीं सुनेंगे. आप थ्रेटिंग करेंगे हमें, आप थ्रेटिंग करेंगे. इनको जरा देख लीजिए, ये थ्रेटिंग कर रहे हैं. They have right to raise extraneous issues. I don't have right to respond to that. पता नहीं, अगर जवाहरलाल नेहरू को कोट करना बदतमीजी है तो बेशक मैं बदतमीजी हूं. You will decide whom I should quote. वो तमीज है, वो तमीज है। वो आप कह रहे हैं कि मैं ये तमीज है। जरा मुशीरुल हसन साहब को जामिया में कौन लोग थे जिन्होंने उन पर हमला किया था? कौन लोग थे? कौन लोग थे जिन्होंने मेरे सर में घोट मारी थी? कौन थे वो लोग? If these issues had not been raised here, I would not have responded. I would have stuck to my prepared speech.
He is behind me.
वो जो हमें रोक रहे हैं बोलने से वो ठीक है, तो ये बोलने का तरीका ये है कि रोक रहे हैं। नहीं चाहिए। I will merely said that I invited them. They did not come. You are not ready to hear. I am merely saying that when Gandhiji invited them and they did not come, it created a culture of violence. And now Professor Habib is objecting my taking name of, by taking, he is asking me to quote Nathuram Godse. Is it okay? Is it okay? आखिर में I want to finish it now. We can't. मैं आपको फिर याद दिलाना चाहूंगा. I would like to remind you what Maulana Azad had said in 1946. I'm inviting you, come anytime, even here when I'm here. You are invited. See what Mahatma Gandhi has said, what Pandit Nehru has said, what Congress Party in its working committee resolution has said. And I wish, with these words I will inaugurate this Congress, that please, you have every right to stick to your opinion, but don't try to shut others down. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now rise for the national anthem.
Just a moment. They had come prepared with maybe around 100 play cards. Tell me if there was something spontaneous about it. Can you prepare play cards in 5 minutes time? In 10 minutes time? They had come prepared with everything. Big play cards. So now show it. And now this man goes from stage down there to stop the police from acting. You can see him there. Police, they wanted to do their duty. It was this Mr. Ragesh who stopped them. He was sitting at the stage. Why he went there? He is stopping the police from acting.
This is how you treat academicians and historians here. This is how you treat historians who have come as delegates in your own state.
really sad that I invited them. They did not come. They are not ready.
During my speech, he goes down.
That when Gandhiji invited them and they did not come, it created a culture of violence. And now Professor Habib is objecting by taking name of Gandhi. He is asking me to quote Nathuram Godse. Is it okay?
Have you seen? He is sitting on the stage during my speech when police is trying to control these lawbreakers. He goes down and stops the police from acting against them. Possibly that is why he has been rewarded.
Inaugurate this Congress that please, you have every right to stick to your opinion, but don't try to shut others down. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Have you ever seen anybody who is sitting on the stage going down to the mob? That is the job of the police. They will control them. But he rises from his seat and goes to the audience to stop police from acting. Now, you want to show something more or shall I speak? It's okay? Over? Over.
And for making this event, I wish...
No, they were mostly from outside. They were not Kerala people. Kerala people were raising the slogan Bharat Mata Ki Jai when I was speaking. They were not Kerala people. They were mostly from Jamia and JNU and Aligarh. And Aligarh, I had identified them. I know them. And that is why I refer to the comment of Maulana Azad. It was only after seeing them that I made that comment. I refer to what Maulana Azad had said in 1947. He was also heckled. And very bad language was used against him. Then Maulana Azad told the gathering, he said that I was under the impression that this tsunami of partition has taken away with it all the dirt and dust and foul things. But it appears that there are some cesspools where that thing has stayed back. And since they have become stagnant waters, therefore they smell foul. Maulana Azad had responded to that heckling only in Aligarh. But are you surprised at this behavior? We are living in a state where the convener of the ruling front is banned from flying. Banned from flying, is that right or not? For what? Unruly behavior. They think that it is their right to break the law. And when I said, not just convener of the UDF, one minister trashes constitution publicly and he is removed from the Council of Ministers. Another former minister challenges the territorial integrity of India by using the language of Pakistan. Do you think these incidents are merely lapse on the part of these individuals? No. This is how they are indoctrinated in their training camps. The only mistake they have committed is that they said something which is taught to them. They said it publicly. And that is why I said that there are certain ideologies which have originated outside India. They believe in the legitimacy of the use of force to silence dissent, difference of opinion, and to liquidate those whom they consider their class enemies. Who are the class enemies? Class enemies are those who have a politically different viewpoint. I did not ask whether there were members and I did not name anybody. Why CM felt that I am referring to the Communist Party? I am asking this question. There are other terrorists also. But he realized, because this is what they teach in their camps. Can he deny that the ideology he adheres to, it allows use of force against the political opponents? How come so many people have been killed in Kannur district? How come so many young lives have been lost in the campuses of Kerala universities? How many months back, only recently, about 2 months back or 3 months back, a young bright student was killed in the campus. Why? Because to some people and their ideology, use of force. And Irfan Habib is the icon of that ideology, which believes in the use of force against those who hold different views. It is for nothing. I mean, don't you feel any sense of shame that the convener of the ruling party is barred from flying by the airline? For what? For attacking 2 persons inside the plane. So if they attack me here, if they can attack inside the plane, what is so surprising if they attack me there on the stage? Try to attack me, not attack me, try to attack me. And one question I am raising, how come if the reaction was spontaneous or it was a reaction to some of my remark, how come these 100 of placards were there if they had not come prepared? And in the light of what I had read earlier, IPC provision, it was the duty of to anybody if goes to the court, it will become difficult for the police to explain why they did not act. And police officers themselves told me that they wanted to act and they were prevented from acting. So my question through you is, some papers, please try to use my words. Don't try to put, because today I have seen what I said yesterday, that I'm going to ask for investigation. No, not at all. What I had said was, I want the media to investigate whether when police was prevented from taking action, whether it was also because the man giving instruction was himself party to the conspiracy, or it was merely a favor shown to the fellow cadre. I had said, I have not said that I'm going to ask any agency to investigate. No, I did not say that. I said I request you media to investigate whether, like people who had come with the placards, so surely they knew that there is a plan to intimidate the governor when they were preparing the placards. So the man who gave the instruction to the police not to act, was he also part of the party to the conspiracy? The man who went down from the stage and prevented police from acting against those who were creating disturbance, has he been appointed in the Chief Minister's office because of that great thing which he did? These are my questions. I am not asking any official agency to investigate. I am asking you to investigate. Instead of devoting their attention to the roads are in bad condition, there are so many problems. Lottery and alcohol is our main source of revenue. What a shame. Instead of doing anything for the people of Kerala, instead of developing the infrastructure, instead of building the roads, instead of improving the tourism infrastructure, all their attention is focused on silencing those who differ with them. And they are not ready to spare even the Raj Bhavan. Can you imagine anybody? Nobody, and I'm saying it with all clarity in my mind. Nobody has any authority to give directions to the Raj Bhavan, whom I should have in my personal staff, how the affairs should be conducted. The only authority in India is President of India. And here, a secretary of the government of Kerala is forced to write a letter to the Raj Bhavan, trying to dictate how Raj Bhavan should run its affairs. And what ultimately they had to eat humble pie? The day I asked for his removal, I was fully aware that man is innocent. But I wanted to send a message that these pressure tactics are not going to work on me. But even that has not opened their eyes. They continue. For how many days I ask you, for how many days write-ups were appearing in the press, government is going to curtail the power of governor. Was it happening before the passage of bill or not? I ask you. Who was sponsoring those articles? I have already told you, you take over as chancellor. Why don't you take over? Who are you to curtail my powers? My powers come from constitution and conventions. It is not your sweet will. You have freedom to malign, to undermine, to malign, to heap indignity on the... You are going to cut my powers? Who are you? I have administered oath of office to you, you have not. They have crossed all the limits. This is the letter which Chief Minister had written to me, and I will ask them to provide a copy. Prince साहब, आपके पास है वो 3 letters of the Chief Minister and my replies. You have that? Yes. First letter, or this is the last letter? No, this is the first letter which I wrote on December 8. Copy will be supplied to you. Wherein I said, I am sick of this pressure which is brought upon me. And I don't want to continue as Chancellor. If I had any vested interest, why I would say that I don't want to continue as Chancellor. And I said in this letter that I know that the Assembly is not, since the Assembly is not in session, you can go for an ordinance. And I promise that I shall sign the same immediately. But you become Chancellor. Relieve me of this duty. Why I was forced to write that letter? Chief Minister personally came to Raj Bhavan and requested me that in the matter of the appointment of Kannur University Vice Chancellor, that is his home district, and I agreed with him that I will give weightage to your opinion. You are democratically elected leader. Yes, I shall give weightage to your opinion. But we have to go through a process. That we did not discuss. We started the process for the selection of the Vice Chancellor. And my view was that since I have given word to the Chief Minister, I will, after the panel sends 3 names, selection committee, they send 3 names, then I will consult him and I will try to go by his choice. they possibly realize that the man of their choice may not find place in that panel. Therefore, Chief Minister, office people, they contacted me, they came here, and they said that since you have given word to Chief Minister that man of his choice will be appointed, therefore why go through the process? I said, no, we should go through the process. Then his secretary, his legal consultant, he produced a document. This is the opinion of the Advocate General also, that direct appointment can be made. I ask you this question. If I have some legal problem, facing some legal problem, formally speaking, legally speaking, whom I should consult? AG of the state? Advocate General? Advocate General, without my asking, the opinion is already there. I have not asked for this opinion. The opinion he produced. I said, why I should believe that this is from AG? This has not been signed. Okay. Can we come in the evening again? I said, most welcome. They come in the evening and they produce not only the opinion of the AG, but also the request from the Education Minister, who happens to be Pro-Chancellor. Same thing. And saying that I'm sending the opinion of Advocate General. Now, what was the course open for me? To enter into a legal battle because AG opinion is already there? And I'm saying, I'm not defending. I have already said that that was not right on my part to make that promise. I have already admitted to that mistake many times. But I had given word, it is true. I had not given word that I shall scuttle the process. They forced me with the letter of the Advocate General to scuttle the process. And Chief Minister in his defense said that under Article so and so, Governor acted on the advice of the AG. AG immediately next day clarified the position that Raj Bhavan never sought my advice. Advice was given to the Education Ministry, who had sought my advice. Why Education Ministry sought his advice? To bring pressure on me. I realized that this pressure is going to continue. Therefore, I decided that I should not continue as Chancellor. And I wrote the letter, which I have already told you, and they will provide the copies, in which I said I am ready to sign even an ordinance. You become the Chancellor. Now, this letter was replied on December 8 itself. I am not going into it. I did not accept, in which request was made to me to continue as Chancellor. I did not accept it. I wrote on the same date, next day, December 9, saying that I do not accept the explanations which you have given, and I stand by my decision. The reply came on 16 December, again requesting me that I will have to continue as Chancellor. Then, even this I rejected. But I said, why continue this letter writing? I do not have that kind of relationship that I should enjoy reading these letters. So I said, now I'm not going to comment. If when I did not comment, then on, where is the last letter? Yes, it is here. The last letter. The last letter, all the ifs and buts, and to give you the complete story, a senior officer of the government came to Raj Bhavan with a draft and requesting me, asked me what I want to be written so that I can continue as Chancellor. I made some modifications in that draft. And then this letter same evening came from Chief Minister. And the earlier letter also, he had said that government does not have any proposal to make any change in the, as far as the selection of the Vice Chancellor is concerned. He has written in his letter, you will read it. More interesting is something else which I will tell you about Professor C.N.R. Rao and Professor Panikkar. If I forget, please remind me. Now this letter came, which was on 13th January, in which all ifs and buts were dropped. I was requested to continue as Chancellor. I was assured. Now I'm quoting from the letter of the Chief Minister. I am of the considered opinion there should not be any intrusion into the academic autonomy of the universities from any quarter, leave alone government. He assured me that he will ensure there is no interference by the government or any other agency. I have not written this letter. He has signed this letter. And now what they are doing? They are not only changing the law, but saying in that law that there will be 5 members of the selection committee, 3 will be nominees of the government, and the decision will be taken by majority. Academic matters decision will be taken by majority. So, does he remember what he had written to me? Now, I will tell you something interesting. Where is the first letter? Yeah. The first letter, in which I have said that I would like to bring to your kind notice that on the day Chancellor's awards were given, I had referred to the letter of Professor C.N.R. Rao, who has expressed his concern about serious problems in the higher education sector. He says that all bright students from Kerala migrate to other states. They don't want to continue higher education in Kerala. I'm not saying this. Professor C.N.R. Rao is saying this. Letter will be made available. And then I also referred to Professor K.N. Panikkar, who was Vice Chancellor of Sanskrit University, Shankaracharya University, and also Vice Chairman. Earlier he was Vice Chairman of the Higher Education Council. In his article, Quest for Quality, he has said the same thing. So I mentioned these things that, if you recall, I had mentioned Professor C.N.R. Rao and Professor Panikkar, that we need to pay attention the malady with which higher education in Kerala is suffering. Now listen to the reply, the letter to the first reply. What opinion he has about Professor C.N.R. Rao, Bharat Ratna, and Professor Panikkar. He says, while the state is taking strenuous efforts to create a knowledge economy by raising quality of higher education to new levels, strident propaganda to malign the universities and to give adverse publicity about the centers of higher learning in Kerala have also been noted. He feels that Bharat Ratna Professor C.N.R. Rao and Professor are indulging in the government. I need not comment on that. He says in his press conference, I'm asking you, have I ever invited before to the Raj Bhavan or to the airport or any place where I'm staying? No. But when I come out of my room, when I reach the airport, if I see that media people are waiting there, I consider it necessary on my part that if they have from the city, they have gone to the airport. Outside Cochin guest house, they are waiting for more than an hour. I should stay there for 5 minutes and respond to their queries. He says in his press conference Any being places mic before him and he starts speaking. Are you any being? Or you are one of the important pillars of the state? I ask you, why do you not question when these kind of remarks? It is the duty of the media. If you will allow to be treated in this manner, then many more people, they will. Why? I'm not fighting any personal battle. I'm not going to be here in this Raj Bhavan forever. After some time, I will go. But the man who comes after me, he will have this question about me, that I compromise the dignity of the Raj Bhavan. You have a duty for your future generations also. The words which he has used are, any being places mic before him. Is it okay? Are you just any being? Should I stop stopping when I see you, waiting for quite some time? I think this is a courtesy which must be extended to our media people. And that is why I stop. I have never before today, I have never invited press for any interaction. Yes, if they have asked to interview me, I have done that. And famously, the man who calls you any being, it is reported that he used the words kalakku puratta. He had said to you, not to me. How do you tolerate these things? Kalakku puratta. Democracy, liberty, freedom of expression, the freedom of media, eternal vigilance is required if you don't want them to be diluted. If you will digest these remarks and you will not question back, then so far he has said kadakku puratta, then he will ask his men to throw you out of the campus if you won't take if you will not yourself guard your freedom.